Settling down on the shiny black sofa in the front room of their student house in Newcastle, Ailsa McNeil and her roommates discuss what they will do once they leave university. The idea of moving into the financial world of London and working long hours inside a massive company does not appeal to me, said McNeil. She is not alone. New research has found that a similar attitude to work is widespread among the group of people known as Generation Y, usually defined as those born between the late 1980s and the year 2000. A study of more than 2,500 people in this group found that they were rejecting their parents' conception of work and were determined not to lead lives that revolved so heavily around their jobs. Instead, they were ready to resign if their work was not fulfilling and fun, with a decent number of holidays and the opportunity to take long stretches off for charity work or travel. Compensation and status were not prioritized, according to the study by Talent Smoothie, a firm that advises companies on the changing workforce. The research concluded that this generation has many choices, gap years, and extensive travel are the norm. They have seen their parents in stressful jobs working long hours and realize that hard work for big companies apparently does not bring prosperity and happiness. They want their lives to be different, and this shows. If they are dissatisfied, they resign. The study found that 85% of Generation Y wanted to spend 30% to 70% of their time working from home. More than half wanted a flexible working arrangement. The top priority when choosing a job was doing work that I love, while earning lots of money was far behind in 7th place. That is why major companies, hoping to attract the very best graduates, are doing whatever they can to lure them in. The previous generation saw work as a primary part of life, says Madeline Brooks, HR director at Procter & Gamble. Now we are seeing the growth of a different profile of candidates. They have grown up in relatively affluent families. They want to be sure that they can strike a balance between work and their personal life, and so the opportunity to take time off, to travel, to work for a company with a strong social responsibility record, these are all concerns that we increasingly hear when recruiting talent. Procter & Gamble has already adapted its recruitment efforts and what it offers to meet the needs of Generation Y. Instead of just stressing higher salaries, this company is highlighting the opportunity for flexible hours, the chance to work from home, and other perks. Similar packages are being offered by companies across Britain. However, the overconfidence of Generation Y is proving a challenge for employers. In fact, the research found that younger workers were far more willing to challenge managers and relatively unconcerned with hierarchy. In one case, outlined in the study, a chief executive of a large insurance firm emailed employees to inform them about a major decision. James, 24, who had recently joined the firm, told his older colleagues he disagreed with what had been done. He quickly decided to share his feelings with the head of the company and sent his thoughts directly to him in an email. A reply popped up on James' screen. "I have been running this company for 10 years. I think I know what I am doing." James hit back, "I realize this is an uncomfortable conversation, but I am not the only one that disagrees with you." Luckily, he was able to convince the boss that he was not simply being rude. Simon Walker, a founding director of Talent Smoothie, said he planned to look at how attitudes differed across the world. He argued that they were partly dictated by age, but also by circumstances. In China, Generation Y is made up of only children, as a result of the one-child policy, who grew up through difficult economic times. They would have very different values from their British counterparts, he said. In Britain, meanwhile, there would be people of all ages who shared typical Generation Y attitudes, he argued, but they would be far more common within the age group. One of those attitudes, according to research by Walker and others, is a strong desire to be fulfilled in their job. We see young people that are searching for some sort of meaning in life, said Julia Middleton, the group's chief executive. I think life is cyclical, and there is a return to people searching for meaning and searching for values.